Hey y'all, the Mapster is back and I'm investigating everything. What the hell is going on, you YouTubian people? Where are my people? Where are the Mapsters? Where's Map Nation? The Mapster is back. What the fuck is this? And I'm investigating everything. Anyway, lots of shit going on in the world. We have Iran. Mab says within a week, Iran will be bombed to shit. All right? Mark my words. Mab investigates everything. All right? Minnesota. Tampon Tim and his crew are going to be stopped as of like right now. I think the state police and the city police are going to start arresting the agitators, and they're going to be through. Carmela Green, how are you? It's good to see you. Indy Isham, what is up? Good to see you too. Boy, do we have a good show today. Hell of a show. Damn good show. That's what I'm talking about. Gopher, what is up? So good to see you too, brother. So we got this case like adorable. That's cute. I like that. I'm adorable. Okay. I'm adorable. Mrs. Map thinks so too. So sweet. So we got Iran just about to get bombed. We got Minnesota with a bunch of paid protesters funded by NGOs that are partially funded by your tax dollars, okay? That shit's going to get shut down. They have military precision and coordination of these protesters. They have signal chats. They got the whole city divided up into sectors. And each sector has its own 1,000-person signal group. They're using license plate readers of the police to identify ICE vehicles. Once an ICE vehicle is identified, they put it out to the signal group of 1,000 people, and instantly a bunch of freaking agitators show up and start screwing with ICE. That's why you have 2 people dead so far. It's crazy. She is more adorable than I am. That's for damn sure. So the case we're covering today is 10 children being abused for over a year in a dungeon, of all places. It's crazy. Let me hit something here real quick. All right, that's better. I had to put a little bit of foundation on, okay? Cover up my wrinkles. Yeah, it is insane over there. But Tom Holman's going there today, or he's there now, and I'm sure he's going to straighten some shit out. Tampon Tim is a Chinese plant, okay? He spent his honeymoon in China. He's been to China like 15 different times, 12 to 15 different times. You know what I'm saying? I've investigated him. How do you think he got on the Kamala Harris ticket? He was a nobody, but he was connected to China, just like Biden. Looking clean shaved. I did shave yesterday, I think. The day before, one of those times. I do take a shower once a week. Yeah, Tampon Tim needs to go. He needs to get his ass booted right out of there. With the mayor, too. I don't know, I forget his name. Anyway, y'all want to get into this case? It's crazy, all right? Let me see.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Jody Wade, Sheriff of Bibb County. I thank all y'all for coming today and help us get some of this information out. Maybe it'll lead to more victims coming forward.
If you can hear me good, if you can hear that good, put a 1 in the chat.
Unfortunately, I'd first like to thank my team, my Chief Investigator, Chris Poole, Investigator Justin Hobbs. They worked tirelessly on this case. I know we haven't been giving out a lot of information in reference to what's been going on, but it's been very busy and a lot of new things come to light. More arrests last night, unfortunately. The case first started in February of this year. The Department of Human Resources had information that there was possible sexual abuse going on at the residence on Aaron Drive. They contacted the sheriff's office, and Chris and Justin immediately responded there, and they were able to determine that, yes, there was sexual abuse of children occurring there. This was occurring in what had been referred to as a bunker. It's actually a storm shelter. When you pull into the driveway, it just looks like a shed where you park cars, but when you go around back, it's actually an underground storm cellars where all these
The damn bunker disguised as a carport. And hey, I think it's North Carolina. He'll say in a second. Hey, Carrie Joe, what's up?
incidences took place. They were able to interview the first suspect, William Chase McElroy.
Oh, Lord. Look at this guy. His cheeks and his chin are bigger than his whole damn head. Holy shit. William Case McElroy.
And as a result of that, they located another suspect, Dalton Terrell. He confessed and gave more information that led to it being opened.
Now, Dalton Terrell is going to be the songbird in this whole investigation. You watch. And you're going to hear that name Terrell more than once here.
As a human trafficking investigation. After that, new allegations resulted in the arrest of Timothy St. John, Rebecca Brewer, Sarah Terrell.
Oh, Lord. Look at this Sarah Terrell. See the Adam's apple on this bitch? It's bigger than mine. Holy shit. Holy crap. It's way bigger than mine. Damn. What's up, Tony?
Terrell and Ricky Terrell.
So Ricky and this other one, these Terrells. Bunch of good-looking folks, huh?
So as it stands right now, the total number of victims are 10.
10 kids from 2 to 15, I believe.
Unfortunately, we expect more victims to be found. We're looking right now at 7 individuals that have been charged with a variety of horrible crimes. The first suspect is William Chase McElroy. The victim's age ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old. His charges are 4 counts of rape first, 6 counts of sodomy first, 6 counts of human trafficking, 4 counts of kidnapping first. And we have mugshots available for you that we'll provide you after the conference.
That boy's going to doing some time now. It's not funny. It's cracking, Tony. Crimes against kids are disgraceful. You got the hell of that right.
The second arrest is of Dalton Terrell. His charges are rape first, 5 counts, sodomy first, 7 counts, human trafficking, 6 counts, kidnapping first, 4 counts.
He's going away for a long time, too. That's 2 out of 10. Let's keep going.
The third arrest is Andres Velasquez Trejo.
Look at the fucking smirk on this son's a bitch's face. Look at the smirk on his face. You think it's funny, punk? Your ass is going to jail. And you're gonna get what you've been dishing out is what you're gonna get. Right up the yin yang, brother. You're gonna get it where the sun don't shine. Okay?
His charges are 6 counts of human trafficking. Those victims ranging in age from 3 to 15 years old.
And you got to remember, this has been going on for a year or two. So when it started, this kid was like a 1. This youngest one was like 1.
Next is Timothy Dale St. John Jr.
He's a real peach, ain't he?
His charges are 2 counts of rape first, 4 counts of sodomy first, 4 counts of human trafficking, 3 counts of kidnapping first, 1 count of bestiality.
Oh, no. Let's leave the animals out of this. Come on, man. Why you got to bring the poor animals into this? Damn.
1 count of aggravated cruelty to animals.
What the hell kind of shit is going on down there? Easy, Mab. Oh, my God. Dang. Easy my ass. These motherfuckers are going down.
In addition to the animals, the victims ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old. 3 counts of kidnapping first, 1 count of bestiality, 1 count of aggravated
Can't make it up.
cruelty to animals. In addition to the animals, the victims ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old. Next is Rebecca Brewer.
Becca. These people ain't starving, I can tell you that.
Her charges are 8 counts of human trafficking, 8 counts of kidnapping first, 3 counts of sexual torture.
Some of these kids are the kids of the people who were doing it. And some people were renting their kids out. So if you don't think you can buy kids, you can buy kids. All right? These people were making $1,000 a day with the dungeon. Okay? That's more than you can make selling mathematics. Come on, man.
Next arrest is Ricky Terra.
Hey, Deb, how you doing, bud? How you doing, sweetheart?
His charge right now is 1 count.
Let's see. This is
One
Terrell,
of the suspects that's been arrested. Known ties to a gang that's known their main source of income is child sex trafficking.
It's gonna lower.
And our 911 dispatchers, they do a tremendous job, and they do so much for us other than just answer the radio and tell us where to go. Right now, the children, the victims that we have identified, have been removed safely when this immediately was made aware, and they are in the Department of Human Resources in their custody, and they are safe and being cared for and speaking with counselors to help them get through this.
It's going to be a years-long process of healing from the shit these people did to these kids. And it takes years and sometimes decades to get over this shit. Sometimes you never get over it.
Horrible thing that's happened to them. It's still an ongoing investigation, and we anticipate more arrests and, unfortunately, more victims. That's most of the information that I can share with you now, but I'd be glad to take a couple of questions if I could answer them. Yes, ma'am?
I like this guy. And I like this police department. You did a good job. Alba, good to see you, sweetie. Me and Mrs. Mab are doing well. No, you can't gift me because I'm not monetized. I don't do this for money. But when I do get monetized, you can do that if you want. I do have a Cash App, but I would dox myself if I gave it to you. So either I have to make up another one or something like that. But I do need more equipment. I want to start going live every day at 1 o'clock. I want to, kick this shit off right. I've been, let me pull this down for a second. I've been suffering from, that surgery that went bad. My face, this hole is completely numb. All of my chin is numb. My bottom teeth are in pain, right? Every day, all day, every day. The only break I get is when I'm asleep, dreaming. Every time I wake up, I'm like, damn, I still feel like I got hit in the face with a freaking baseball bat. Alba, thank you so much, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here. I love all you guys. Old Tony, I've been knowing him for like 4 years now. All right. But yeah, I've been work since my last live. I've done fixed 3 tractors. I almost got killed with my crane. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I fixed it just yesterday, day before yesterday. What is this? I fixed it on Sunday, I think. I look good, thanks. Looks can be deceiving. But you know what? I just figured, I'm just going to go for it. It's probably not going to ever get better. I'm just going to have to suck it up and just deal with it. I know a lot of you guys are in as worse a shape as I am, or worse. 2 tumors all over. You lost all feeling in your face. It's not people. It's not easy to understand, Alba. Yeah, it is not. You cannot understand it until you've been through it or you're going through it. So I have a lot of compassion for people who are going through pain, especially nerve pain, because there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. There's a program I might try, but there is nothing you can do about it. You just got to suck it up. All right? Sucks. That's for damn sure. All right, let's get back to this.
How are all these people connected? I know there are some with the same last name, but I think some even with different last names, they're in-laws and that kind of thing. Can you kind of lay that out for us?
Correct. And for the privacy of the children, I'll just suffice it to say that yes, some of the victims, the offenders, were their parents and different relatives and things like that, which you can draw from the last names being the same as the offenders and victims. So, yes.
What about all the suspects? Are there any connections there? I know you've got Sarah and Ricky Terrell along with Dalton. Mm-hmm. Is that one family or?
Some of these people are acquaintances. Some of them are family, and some of them are just people that they were able to schedule to come to the storm shelter.
Schedule to come to the storm shelter. Like a damn business. You'd like to make an appointment to SAed kids, 6 sons of bitches.
Sheriff, how did we get to this point with these children? Did somebody not say, hey, this is not right? How did we get to this point? Where were the parents? Where were the uncle, the aunts, or even friends?
Correct. Well, a lot of the relatives being involved, so they're not going to come forward. But as far as this, there was a suspicion by the Department of Human Resources there was child abuse going on there, and that's when they contacted us to open the investigation. Immediately, victims removed and arrests began being made.
And would they take the children to the bunker, or were the children staying in the bunker?
It depends on what appointment in time the offenders had. Sometimes the children would be there tied to a pole that was there, bound to a bed that was there, or in a chair that was there. Sometimes there would be multiple people that would come by and victimize these children on a nightly basis.
And do you know how much they were paying, or was it different?
We've
About to find out how much money they made on this shit.
heard different numbers. I understand that sometimes they could make up to $1,000 a night.
$1,000 a night. That's $365,000 a year. Hey, Joanne. Joan Marie, I'm sorry. Hey, Joan Marie, good to see you. Yeah, I was chewing on sticks, Tony. I have come a long way, but I feel like I got a long way to go. It sucks, man. Really does. If I'm not busy on something or working on something, it's bad.
The DA says that there's maybe up to 12 more men involved. Is there any way to track down these men, or do you have any leads on it? And what about those who purchased the images from Velasquez Trado?
That is still something that these guys are working on. They were out till midnight last night and have been since this investigation started. So yeah, I was waiting until a time such as this when we had the known victims safe and the for sure known suspects in custody before we wanted to give out a lot of information on this case. But it is still ongoing. And like I said earlier, unfortunately, I'm afraid there's going to be more victims and many more suspects. And these guys are diligent and they're going to run down everybody they can.
Besides the victims whose parents were involved that you mentioned, those who maybe didn't have parents involved, are there any knowledge of their, were they knowledgeable of this going on, and could any criminal charges be brought against them?
That is something that will be part of the ongoing investigation. I do not think that anybody that was not involved in this directly was aware that it was going on.
Okay, so we have to have somebody I mean, where are the moms and dads of these kids? They had to have been involved, right? Otherwise, it couldn't have happened. So, damn. Sickening. It's Joanne Marie. Thank you, Joanne Marie. Joanne. All right, I got you. All right.
How many additional victims do you anticipate? If you had 10 already, how many additional do you anticipate?
There's no telling.
As I'm sure many of your investigators are parents, aunts, uncles, how has it been for you all on kind of peeling this back layer by layer and seeing all this? It seems like it's bad. It goes from worse to worse to worse to worse.
Absolutely. It's horrible as a parent when you sit there and you look at your child. I mean, I have a 30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 9-month-old. And I just look at.
Yeah, what do you say? He's got kids all over the ages. What happened? He must have married you get a Chinese wife, brother? What's going on?
If you had 10 already, how many additional do you anticipate?
There's no telling.
As I'm sure many of your investigators are parents, aunts, uncles, how has it been for you all on kind of peeling this back layer by layer and seeing all this? It seems like it's bad. It goes from worse to worse to worse to worse.
Absolutely. It's horrible as a parent when you sit there and you look at your child. I mean, I have a 30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 9-month-old.
30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 9-month-old. So this youngest kid, his big brother or sister is 30 years older sibling. That ain't possible if you stayed with the same woman, so you must have married a young'un, because you look like you're 65 and you can't have kids after 40, so you married somebody half your age, brother. See, Mab investigates shit. I just investigated this sheriff. But I'm just joshing. I'm sure he's fine. Kidnapping. I think that all the kids and the parents and the friends or whatever, whoever was involved in this, all knew these kids. Like, they didn't like steal a kid from somewhere for a whole year and put them in this dungeon. I think that some of the mothers or fathers were complicit in selling their children and selling them out to this ring that was going on here in this dungeon. You want to see the dungeon? Let me show you the damn dungeon. Hold on. All right. This is your dungeon right here. Got your nasty ass bed with no freaking sheets or nothing, with stains all over it. Got your little radio to drown out the horrific screams of these poor children. You got the fan to cool people off when they're all fucking sweaty and fucked up. You got your block walls buried in the damn ground so that you can't hear shit coming out of that dungeon. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Damn. Can't believe it. All right, let's keep going.
And I
Hey,
just
Donna.
look,
Hey, Donna. Good to see you. Didn't you send me this, Donna? Or was that a different case? I think it was you.
look at that little girl. I'm thinking, how could you? I mean, absolutely horrible. These men have children that they have to go.
All this, it seems like it's bad. It goes from worse to worse to worse to worse.
Absolutely, it's horrible as a parent when you sit there and you look at your child. I mean, I have a 30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 9-month-old, and I just look at that little girl. I'm thinking, how could you? I mean, absolutely horrible. These men have children that they have to go home to when they can get off from a case like this and be with their children, and I'm sure they just hold them a little tighter. And
Related to the Wells, probably.
I know that those children have to just thank God that they have good parents like these men.
And were drugs involved in this?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what drugs those were to use to incapacitate the victims?
Methamphetamine, I bet you $100. Grandmammy Annie, good to see you, dear. Thanks for coming by.
No, ma'am. I think it may have been something not necessarily a narcotic, more something like to make them a little bit more drowsy and a little bit more compliant for the ones that were physically able to somewhat try to fight back and protect themselves.
So they drugged the kids too to make them compliant.
But no, and I know that there was another investigation that was that it kind of crossed over a little bit involving drugs at that residence, and then we kind of had to say, all right, let's wait a minute on that. We've got more important things that we have to address right now.
And you know who was getting the money that they would pay, who the money went to?
Chris, is there anything I need to divulge? Justin?
Run to several different people.
I would say, yes, look at what's public information on the charges, and it kind of self-explanatory for what their crimes were and what they were charged with, is whether or not there was.
So people with the human trafficking charges were the ones making the money. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Currency or any money involved.
Yeah, correct. Because one of the charges that I read out earlier on Trejo, all his accounts were child sex trafficking. So you can draw what you want from
He's
that.
not accused of doing anything to the children himself except trafficking. Is that correct?
Right now, that's all the charges that he's facing right now, which those are incredibly serious charges.
Right.
But as of right now, as I say, it is an ongoing investigation, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that's going to come out. Unfortunately,
I'm thinking these people are going to do 20 to life, all of them.
Without divulging too much, can you talk about how the bestiality charge and the fourth man arrested plays into this? I mean, was it part of this, or was it just kind of a charge that was tacked on in a separate incident?
that was something that was discovered during the investigation of the children by witnesses, suspects that were cooperating and giving additional information. So that's how that information come forward.
How were the suspect able to advertise, if you will? How were they able to garner so many children to lure them?
Yeah, where did they get all of these people paying $1,000 a day. I hope they have a ring cam up there so they can track all them sons of bitches down. More charges coming, Alba says.
Unfortunately, animals like this, they do have their own network. They've got people that they can call. They've got ads they can take out, be it on any kind of social media platform or something like that. So it is somewhat of an underground thing, but it is well known. Not all the offenders were necessarily familiar with the people that they were purchasing the kids from.
And the house where the bunker is, I know there's an elderly woman, I think one of the men's grandmother who lives there.
Mhm.
Is there any reason to think any of the people who lived near there were suspicious of what was happening, knew what was happening?
Well, I think too, and we were talking about that there was also an ongoing drug investigation that we had to put a little bit of a hold on until we could rescue these children. I think that when you've got that amount of traffic going in and out, it's not unusual, and especially when the area where it's located, you can pretty much get to the bunker without a lot of people seeing it. And then, at night, it'd be easy to go in there undetected. So I think with a kind of a relatively heavy traffic area like that, it wouldn't be unusual to see a lot of vehicles and people going in and out of the house.
So they were probably operating a drug ring and an SA ring. So they're $1,000 a night from the kids and probably another $1,000 a night from the drugs, all right?
But
that's freaking almost $1 million a year, guys. $1 million a year.
That's when it's good for people, if they do see activity that's suspicious like that, to please make us aware, because a lot of time when there's something going on like that, there's something bad going on behind it.
You mentioned criminal, gang affiliations, and this has kind of been described as a ring.
I think that's a Sinaloa that does the human trafficking. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Do you plan to bring charges under the new Alabama Criminal Enterprise Act?
That's something we're still looking to, working with the district attorney's office. And, we have other agencies that are coming in here to assist us. So the main thing we did was get the charges that we could immediately to get these people in custody and get them off the street. I anticipate more charges coming.
Sheriff, is there evidence, I think you spoke to it, that this is linked to a larger criminal conspiracy or organization? And are there other agencies, federal, involved in your investigation?
Well, we've got Homeland Security investigations that's helping us, and to track a little bit more information on the one that has the ties to the is it Sinaloa?
Sinaloa.
The Serranos.
Serrano?
Oh, Serrano.
The Serrano gang.
Serranos, Norteños, and Serranos, I think, are the two. It's north and south. I think the Norteños are the northern one, and the Serranos or the Sinaloa, so the Serranos are the southern.
And like I say, I think their main source of income is child trafficking.
Okay.
So yeah, we are getting assistance from federal agencies to help us on that end, because wherever this guy come from, we don't know what he left in his trail.
This is Alabama.
This may be out of your purview, but when this is over with, will you have any sort of jurisdiction to get rid of the bunker just for psychological purposes?
That is something that I haven't even thought of at that point. I'm glad you brought that up. So we will see what can or should be done about that. If I had my way about it, we'd blow it up, but no.
Blow the damn thing out of the smithereens. Hey, Moto Mom, what's up?
That's something that I can't really answer.
Can you describe what the bunker was like? I know we've seen pictures of the outside by now, but can you describe what the inside was like and about how large it was?
Well, it was pretty good sized where you could actually live in there comfortably. I mean, there was a toilet in there. There was a mattress they were using as a bed in there, room for some chairs and things like that. It's kind of a concrete block structure, partially underground, to where you walk around back and you can see it, but it's going into kind of like a hillside.
It's a tornado. A lot of people build these tornado shelters. When tornadoes come, so they go in there and the house gets wiped out. They're still alive, but they ain't designed for this kind of activity. That's for damn sure. These poor victims are going to be screwed up for life. Joanne Marie says, I agree.
And then on the top of it, like I say, it was like a pad for the roof and then a carport put over. So when you pull up and look at it, it just looks like a carport on a concrete slab.
The Hispanic suspect, what's he, or is he legal?
We're working with Homeland Security investigations to determine what kind of protective visa he had or anything like that. So I'm not really sure right now. That's something that they're running down and helping us to determine.
Going back
So that was
just to clarify, I read reports of it being a basement that was converted into a storm shelter, but you're saying there was a carport above it. Was there any type of residence around that, or was it truly just a bunker in the ground?
Well, it was right there by the residence, so it was adjacent, but you couldn't access it from the residence like directly. You had to go and come in the back of it.
And it was, just for clarification, this was built as a storm shelter and was used for this purpose. This was not built for this purpose.
No, ma'am, and that was one of my first questions. But no, I do believe it was built for a good thing and used for a horrible thing.
built for a storm shelter, used for a horrible thing. Holy shit.
Where are the mothers of these children? Could she be implicated as well?
The ones that aren't in jail, we're still working on that. Yeah.
So they're tracking down the mothers of the kids. That yeah, there has to be more people coming down on this.
It sounds like, Sheriff, based on what you shared with us today, this could be just the beginning of something much larger that he sort of mentioned earlier. Do you anticipate that this is only tip of the iceberg, so to speak?
Yes, it is an ongoing investigation, and I know it's been frustrating for a lot of people in the media that we haven't given out a lot of information or come forward with a lot of information, but with the hours that's been put in and the urgency of getting these people before they fled, trying to turn them and not giving it a lot of attention so that they would scatter like rats. Now we're to the point where now we've got to uncover the possibility of more suspects and more victims, but we've got the ones that are confirmed in custody and charged right now. So,
Is there any adults? We had heard earlier that the parent of one of the children had claimed that they were being trafficked as well. Is that a possibility? Have you looked into that? Or are we talking about only children?
I believe that the oldest child was 15, if that's what you're referring to.
No, I'm thinking about the mother of those children.
The mother of her. Ask me that question again. I apologize.
Any allegations or belief that any of these moms of the children might have been trafficked as well?
Yeah, that's not something I'm aware of. Chris or Justin may be able to answer that question. I'm not aware that the mothers were trafficked.
Okay.
Just to clarify, the two women charged are the mothers of these children, or some of these children.
So the mothers of the children were complicit in the SAed ring. It's time for these bastards to go beat Bubba and his friends. I agree, 100%. Horrible.
Yes.
I mean,
I'd rather not say right now, like I say, because of the children are, students at our schools here in Bibb County, and they've been through enough. And I just want to say as little as I can just to protect what little bit of privacy that they got.
As a sheriff here and as a father, like you said,
Imagine the kids, if they spouted out them kids' name, that what they would go through at school. That's horrible. It's horrible enough what they're going through in that damn dungeon. But to have the whole damn school knowing what happened, that is not okay.
can you speak to just the severity of this case, and has there ever been anything you've experienced like this in your time working here?
I've been in law enforcement for 33 years, and this is absolutely the most horrible thing I've ever seen when it comes to victimization of children.
Damn, it's a long time, brother. Sheriff Troy, I don't know. Sheriff Troy something.
And like I say, I know God's forgiveness is boundless, but if there was a limit to it, I think we reached it. And I know there's a verse that comes to me, and it's in Matthew, I think it's 18:10. It says, "Don't offend one of these least of mine, for their angels behold the face of my Father at all times."
That's right. There's another one that says, screw with children. It'd be better to have something tied to your neck and thrown in the ocean. I can't remember the verse exactly. Hey, Starla, what is up, hon? Oh, Mac.
And you believe that people were traveling here to Bibb County, outside of Bibb County, for the acts we're happening in this concert?
A lot of the people that we have in custody right now are more local, but as investigation goes on, hopefully we'll be able to determine if there were people traveling from out of county, out of state, or wherever to come victimize these children. So that's not something I can answer right now, but it's something these guys are diligently working on.
You cross state lines, it's a whole new ball game. That's what I'm saying.
Do you have a message for, you said, you're expecting possible victims to come forward too. Do you have any message for those victims or the families of the victims to encourage them to come forward?
I would say no child deserves this. That's the most horrible thing you can do. The power and control of it, the stealing the innocence of a child, and the horrible victimization that they went through with these monsters. I would say it's like the old saying, if you see something, say something. If you do think or suspect that there are children being victimized, contact us or your local law enforcement and make them aware. If it's nothing to it, we'll be glad to say it's not. But if there's something to it, God help us to protect these children.
Is that you, little dove? Starla? Oh, thanks for coming, little dove. I'm sorry I didn't let you know I was going live. I'm not a very good friend, little dove, huh? Love you, though. Oh, it's little dove, y'all. Say hello to little dove.
Can you tell us about how long you think this enterprise was happening, from when to when?
The best we can determine at this point is it probably started somewhere around in 2022.
2022? Oh, Lord, that means it's been going on for 4 or 5 years.
So you're talking about these children were victimized over and over and over through these years.
Yeah, and with the age range of the children, from 3 to 10, some of them come in as they got old enough to be desirable to a pedophile, I guess. And then some of them, their victimization started out when they were younger and then they reached the age of 10.
And I know you said that.
So they must have videoed this shit, or you wouldn't have the bestiality charge, because you would have had to catch them in the act of the bestiality. So at some point, they got some animals in there and filmed it. All right. And that is sick as shit.
Most of these children, like the mothers, have been arrested also, but were any of these missing children anywhere that you know of?
That's not anything that I'm aware of, that they were missing, reported missing, or had been abducted or anything like that. I think the kidnapping charges would come from moving the child from one place to another, although the person that was supposed to be their caretaker knew where they were going. But just for you to move that child for a felony purpose from one place to another, that would reach the level of kidnapping.
Sheriff, Sarah Terrell, Dalton Terrell, and Ricky Terrell, are they related, and if so, how?
Yeah, they're related. I'm not sure exactly how they're related. Brothers, sisters, aunts, I don't know.
What about the children? You've been in your business, you said, a long time. What's in store for them? I know they've been taken away, they're in a safe place, but in terms of counseling, what is their immediate future going to look like?
Well, they've already been in contact with counselors, and they're getting the help they need, the medical help they need, the emotional and psychological help that we can best provide them. That for the younger kids, I'm hoping this is a blurry memory, because some of the statements of the children, they were unable to remember certain things, and then things would come to mind. And some of the older children, they'll carry this vividly for the rest of their lives. So all we can do is the best we can by them.
There is kidnapping charges, Donna. Yeah, I think one of the guys is singing. One of the guys is singing on all the rest.
To help them get past this. You can't heal from this, but you can move on as best you can. And we're going to see, along with the Department of Human Resources, that these children get everything they can to have the best life that they can.
You mentioned that these were kids that were in schools here and stuff, so they were leaving and going to school and having that sort of life also.
Yes.
Are there any, adults other than their parents or so-called caretakers that maybe fail these children, school officials, anything like that? And could they be criminally liable for this?
Not that I'm aware of, because normally, and with our school system, if something's going on or something looks out of place, they call us immediately because we have a very good working relationship with them, as we do DHR. It's a small county. They'll call my cell phone and say, hey, Jody, this little girl's missed 3 days of school and she has some bruises when she come in. And then we'll sick the dogs on them then. But
I like this guy. We sick the dogs on them then. I don't understand how this went on for so long, and the kids being that old that nobody said anything to anybody, even their friends. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
worked very well with them. I'm not sure there was any indication. And, as in any case like this, sometimes the victims are reluctant to come forward. They're afraid they're going to get in trouble. Their victimizers have control over them. They are their caretakers, and they still some care about their parents.
But no report has come from the school.
Imagine that, loving your parents and your parents doing that to you, selling you. And you think it's normal maybe because you haven't never known anything else. They've been going on with some of these kids, from birth to 5 years old. That's all they've ever known. So they just think it's normal. Joanne Marie, yeah, what kind of society are we living in? We need to stop this shit. This is crazy. I mean, this is just one that got caught. Imagine all the ones that ain't getting caught.
Official or anybody else about this that could have you out.
I do not think that there was anything at the school that would have led anybody there to think that there was anything wrong at home. They would certainly have contacted us immediately, I can promise you.
What about you guys? Counseling made available to these gentlemen, or perhaps even you?
If they had time, they would probably get some. They have been wide open. I guarantee you, they've seen these poor children more than they've seen their own. They were calling me last night after we met for a couple hours yesterday. They were calling me last night at midnight, giving me updates on what was going on and talking about their concerns. And we met at my house so we could just kind of sit and talk, and then give me some more updates on the case in preparation for this conference. And then, of course, we had a lot of personal talks. And it's hard to sit there and talk to your chief investigator while he's holding your 9-month-old about something horrible that happened to another little child that doesn't have as good as ours do.
Imagine that, you got kids and you're seeing and dealing with all this crap. And then you got to go home to your own family. You just got to hug them a little bit tighter. You know what I'm saying? Got to love them all that much more.
Can we hear from either one of them? If they're okay with it, or are you okay with them just telling us how it's been for them through these months of investigation?
That is absolutely up to Justin and Chris. Chris?
Yeah. My only request is, could you step to the podium?
Absolutely.
It's Chris, one of the lead investigators.
Just give us your name again real quick in case anybody missed it before.
I'm Christopher Poole.
How long have you been with them?
You kind of see the pain on this guy's face. Look at him. It's like, damn. Never seen anything like this in my whole damn life. It's disgusting. It hurts my soul. Amen, little dove.
Sheriff's Mark.
I started the sheriff's office in 2017.
So just what's this been like for you?
It's been heartbreaking. It's been heartbreaking. It's very sad. We don't want to see any children ever have to go through this. As Sheriff said, we all have children of our own. God puts us at the place that we need to be put at that time. And I think me and Justin, our agency has been put there, and we're going to do everything we can. And my only message to all of the victims, know we are fighting for y'all, and the voice, we're going to help you find it. We're going to help you find it, and we're going to put everybody who has done any wrong to any child in this county away. Our sheriff is very supportive of that. When we notified him immediately of this, he immediately told us, go and handle it. Go handle it. You investigate it to the fullest. And that's what we intend on doing.
How do you leave this at the door when you go home and not take it home to your own kids and your wife?
You got to keep the faith. Faith is a strong thing that you got to keep through this.
Chris, at what point during the investigation did you and your partner, or perhaps even the sheriff, realize this is going to be a lot bigger than what we thought? Was it day one back in February? At what point did you realize that this was huge?
Yeah, so in February, we knew any child abuse is serious to us, but we noticed that it started getting bigger the second arrest that we made. Once we was interviewing Dalton Terrell, he ended up giving us a lot of information, and we started investigating a lot.
So it was Dalton Terrell who spilled the beans on the whole terrible Terrells. Damn.
Have all of the suspects confessed?
Multiple ones of the suspects have confessed. There is a couple that is not.
So I can't remember how many there are, but all but two of them have confessed.
Would you mind?
The other investigator.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Just say your name for us real quick.
My name is Justin Hobbs.
Okay, and how long have you been with the sheriff's office?
I've been with the sheriff's office about a year now.
Just tell us what this has been like.
Hard to put into words, honestly. It's hard to put into words. It's hard to describe.
I mean, the sheriff has said this is the worst case against children he's ever seen, and he's been doing it a lot longer than you. So this could be the worst thing you've ever seen, and you've only been here a year. So it's got to be pretty shocking to deal with.
I would agree with that. Yes, ma'am.
Are you able?
This guy's got a lot more experience than 1 year. Okay.
You share with us any expressions from the children once they realized they had been rescued?
I would prefer not to, just to protect the innocence of the children and their well-being.
How do you not take this home? I mean, how do you leave it at work when work seems to last a long time anyway?
I would say 6 years in the Army taught me very well to leave it at the house and try not to take it home.
As somebody that lives in this community, and like she said, you've only been doing this for a year now, what kind of sentiment do you have to say to people outside this county to let them know that this isn't everybody here? This is such a dark and twisted thing, but it's not all of the county, correct?
That's correct. This is a beautiful county. It's filled with a lot of natural beauties. We have things here that you won't find anywhere else in Alabama. You have the Cahaba lily, which is the shoal lily that you see on the Cahaba. I've met people from Indiana, Wisconsin, Maine that have come here for college trips to see those things and the beauty that's here, and the people here are great. So,
Justin, are you able to address whether y'all are having to make special arrangements with the suspect to put him in solitary confinement or any of the suspects on suicide watch?
I don't think that's something I'll be able to answer. Not at this time. I wouldn't know that information.
Are you able to clarify if Dalton Terrell is related to Rich Terrell and Sarah Terrell?
I think refer to how the sheriff answered the question. It's probably best.
So Terrells, I think there's at least 3 Terrells in there. So it was a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. One child grows up to be somebody to slow to burn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything you want to finish with, Sheriff, or do you feel like you got everything in there you needed to?
I think that about covers it, unless y'all have any other questions. I mean, the guys have done a great job. I'm very proud of them. They're doing awesome. He's got many years in law enforcement. He's just been with us for a year right now. So they're very good. They're very capable. And unfortunately, the only credit I can take in this case is hiring the right men to do the job. They've done great.
Based on what you know, like, you don't have to speak in the mic, but based on what you know at this point,
I like this sheriff. He's humble. He's not trying to claim credit. A lot of these guys, sheriffs, will claim credit for everything, even though they didn't do anything. They're just the sheriff, right? It's all the investigators, the boots on the ground, that do the actual work. And so this guy is humble. I like that.
do you anticipate another round of arrests before Friday, like another multiple arrests? Or is it going to sort of trickle down, if you will, at this point?
I think we've gotten to a point where we've got the known, absolutely 100% known suspects in custody, and now it goes into a little bit more lengthy, in-depth trying to discover if there are other offenders. I know they've got leads on some people, and I would encourage them to come forward before we come find you.
Okay. Kids ages from 3 to 10, so far about 15, right?
15 kids, is that what you're saying?
15 children.
No, age range.
Oh.
Yes, total number of children, 10, yes.
Gotcha.
And the age range is 3 to, what's the max there?
A lot of them are 3 to 10, and then we've got a 15-year-old. And of course, when you reach that age, you've been abused for some time up until that point. So we're just kind of giving a vague age range of the known victims at their age now.
So the 15-year-old was probably 10, 9 or 10 when it started.
Okay.
But the total is 10. 10 children.
Right now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Are most kind of those children females or are they males and females?
Males and females. That was a good question. I forgot to address that. Thank y'all very much.
Damn. Crazy.
Well, good afternoon.
That was it. That's the press conference. Yeah. I don't know if any of the children are related. I would imagine there could be some siblings in that ring, but I don't know for sure. They didn't cover that part. So I don't know. But when I saw this case, it was like, damn. It's one of the worst cases I've seen. I mean, I know there's a lot of this shit that goes on in flea-ridden hotels, these rundown hotels where they do human trafficking, and it's usually older people. It's not kids. But I think there is a lot going on with kids, and we as people, if we see something, we need to really say something, even if, we're not sure. If you see something, you just gotta say something. I mean, even if it's, the cops come check it out and there's nothing going on, fine. Yeah, I agree, Little Dub. They need to go to prison for life. I mean, I think Jesus is going to deal with these people. He says in the Bible, what happens to one, if you mess with these little ones, if you mess with the innocent ones, your ass is cooked. Cooked. What else is going on? How are you guys all doing? We got 15 people. It's big, 15. All right. I need to start coming live every day and covering some cases. I mean, I was kind of waiting for myself to heal. Sometimes in the condition that my face is in, you just kind of wait to feel better, but I'm not ever going to feel better, I don't think. So I just need to just start doing it. I have a green screen, but I couldn't get it to work. I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I don't have the fancy intro videos or the extra videos or all of that flashy shit. I do have a Mab Investigates neon sign that Baby Mab got me for Christmas. But she still has it at her house, and so she needs to come give it to me. Jake Harrow was moved to another prison. Jake Harrow was in this perfect spot because he was getting his ass beat. Let me see. Um, all right, let's check out Jake Harrow. Let's put it up. Jake Harrow. Let me see if I can get this up for y'all. Hold on. Give me a second. Come on, man. Let's see. This is it here. What the fuck? I gotta do, I'm gonna put it over here on my other, on my other screen. Because I have two monitors, okay? So I gotta do that. Okay. Here it is right here. Damn commercial. Sorry about that, guys.
The Cabazon father convicted of murdering his 7-month-old son, Emmanuel Harrow, is now in prison. The Riverside County Sheriff's Office confirms Jake Harrow is now serving his 25 years to life sentence at a California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation prison. Stay with News Channel 3 for any new developments on air and online at KESQ.com.
Well, that doesn't tell me.
The Cabazon father convicted of murdering his 7-month-old son, Emmanuel Harrow, is now in prison. The Riverside
He's
County
in prison. He said he was transferred. Let's see. I don't see where he was transferred. Wasco State Prison. I see he was attacked. This fucking guy. Hold on.
He's just a baby. He's just a baby.
Hello guys, how are we all doing today? Black Girls here. So I haven't been posting about Jake and Rebecca because there hasn't really been
What is going on?
Her ex-husband for 15 years. Like,
the third suspicious scenario I was going to bring up was that the day after baby Emmanuel was reported missing, Jake and Rebecca had to go to the headquarters. And Holly, I forgot to mention, if you are not sure who Holly is Rebecca's sister in law, her brother Charlie's wife. Holly was supposed to take them to the headquarters, and there was a moment where Rebecca might have been menstruating.
Oh, Lord, we don't need to hear that. He should have been stayed there and got his ass kicked every day. That's what should have happened.
And she needed
This lady needs to grow her hair out or diet again, one of the two.
some items, right? And she mentioned how she needed to use the bathroom. So Holly and Charlie took her to the gas station, and the gas station employee said that they didn't have a bathroom. So then Holly suggested that Rebecca go use the bathroom at the headquarters.
and they said, no, we don't have a public bathroom. I'm like, okay. So then me and her go back in the car. Charlie takes us back to the police station. I told her on the way to the police station, I said, like, there is a bathroom in there you could use. She goes, no, I don't want to use it. And I was like, what? I was like going crazy. I was like, what? And that's when I was like, no, this isn't right. So we got back there, and then like
Rebecca refused to go to the bathroom at the headquarters. Now, why? For Jake, because I think Jake is just sick in the head. Okay, I think this maybe makes him act a certain way, aggressive. I don't know how people, like, sometimes people react to certain things a different way, just like alcohol, right? So I kind of wonder if this was making Rebecca act a certain way. I don't know, maybe.
You guys think T-Niece, hey, how you doing? Hey, Saucy Skins, what is up? He was transferred because he was being an absolute asshole to everyone, including the COs. Yeah, I've heard that and I've seen that. Do you guys think it was all Jake, or do you think Rebecca was complicit in the abuse? That's a question.
Baby Manuel. So that means she was hiding something. I mean, she knew that Jake Haro was capable of hurting a baby. She knew about the 2018 case. Then she knows that Jake Haro was capable of hurting baby Manuel. So that means she was hiding something.
Yeah. Oh, you sent me something in Messenger? Just now? I know you sent me the other case in Messenger, but okay, I see. Oh, this guy. Gunners. We could check out Gunners. Hold on. Let's do that. La, 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 la. Let's just jump on this. Let's see. Gunners Collective TV. Videos. I'm not sure which one it is. Okay, this one. All right, I got it. Thanks, Donna. Mab is a little slow here. Let's check it out.
Collective TV. Back at it? You already know.
This is Gunners Collective TV, you guys. I'm shouting him out. Go sub up.
Like a torta with some bad habits. Fire. Fire. This is a good one. Let's get to that intro. Chained to a wall and get your shit chopped off. It's High Desert
funny.
State Prison. You don't want to be there. There's a lot of hopelessness. It's way the fuck
Wait, state prison what?
to the most notorious prison in the state of California right now. There are 3 prisons in the state of California you do not want to be at this point in time. One of them is High Desert State Prison. You don't want to be there. There's a lot of hopelessness. It's way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere.
I've never heard of High Desert Prison. I know we got one right here in Salinas, and then we have the one up in San Francisco, Soledad. We have Soledad, I think, down here close to me. And then we have the one up there in the Bay Area. What the hell is it called? A friend of mine was there.
And believe me, no one that's there asked to be there. No one signed up for that, right? The second prison you don't want to be at because you might get chained to a wall and get your shit chopped off is New Folsom Prison. There's been more killings at New Folsom Prison in the last couple years than any other prison, all the prisons combined in the state of California. You do not want to go to New Folsom. But Jake didn't go to High Desert, nor did he go to New Folsom. This morning, breaking news, Jake was transpacked and transferred to Salinas Valley State Prison.
All right, he's come to Mabster's area. I can go visit Jake Harrow and smack him upside the fucking head. Salinas. It's 20 minutes from me.
Yes, indeed. You heard it here first. Salinas Valley State Prison.
I think it's really called Soledad. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to look it up.
The most notorious prison in all the state of California where you can get your shit bopped off daily. That's where Jake Harrow is heading. In fact, his ship, the Eagle has landed. The Eagle has landed. Jake Harrow is now in Salinas Valley State Prison as of this morning. What does that mean? Nothing good for Jake. A lot of justice for baby Manuel and baby Promise. That's right. You know, when Jake was transpacked and transferred to Wasco State Prison for reception, that's understandable. That's the way it goes. That's exactly where he was going to end up. That's his reception. He went through there and they slid him up out of there in less than a month, which was kind of unusual for someone with his points, being a level 4, being a lifer, having been convicted of killing a child, right? You would think that they would sit there a little bit longer for evaluation and tests and all that. But he slid up out of reception pretty fast, which was not uncommon.
Yeah. Yeah. He's coming to Salinas. He's coming to the Mabsters town.
But in this case, to me, I thought it was a little fast, right? I thought they were trying to get him somewhere safe.
Trying to get rid of him, probably. He's such a freaking punk. Giving them crazy.
That type of individual, because of the notoriety of his case, because of who he is, because the case is still ongoing with Richueca, Lumpy Butt Harrow, right?
Saucy Skins feels the mom is absolutely aware, if not participating and complicit in the abuse of Manuel Harrow. It's no good. No bueno.
I would think that, they would try to get him to somewhere where there could be some type of safety. And they did. They did. They took him to the safest joint in CDCR. They took him to CMC. Upon his arrival from CMC, we all know he got into a little bit of a scuffle. That's to be expected. I don't know.
You go to prison, you get your ass kicked. I mean, you got to fight. You got to, it's the survival of the fittest. If you're a punk, if you're a pussy, you're going to get your ass beat. And that's why most of the people who abuse children are pussies, in my opinion.
How many times people have been sent to prisons and got off in R&R. I myself, once upon a time when I was an active gang member, was sent to a no-good prison, which was Jamestown at that time. And I decided I didn't even want to get a little bit of a taste of that yard. I'm going to go ahead and do my thing in R&R, and didn't quite make it up out of R&R. Now, of course, if you know my story, you know eventually I did end up going to Jamestown further down the road, and I stood there, right? But in the beginning, there was the end. And
I don't know this guy's story. I'll probably have to watch it, but he used to be a gang member. I don't know which gang. He looks like, sounds like he's a Californian boy. He was probably in the Serreños or Norteños or something like that.
the end game was get off where I was mad at, and I did that. Now, Jake is a whole different animal, literally, right? So when he gets there, of course, that is what they call a SNY yard in CMC. He's going to be welcomed down on bended knees with open arms like a Boyz II Men song. And so as soon as he gets there, of course, because of the notoriety of his case and because he's kind of an asshole, somebody decided to get off on him. Now, since that happened, he was removed to the RHU, the restrictive housing unit, to which he kept antagonizing COs. That's what I told you. That was the inside scoop that I got.
You like his channel, Donna? Yeah, I've watched him before, but I don't know his whole story. How long was he in prison, Donna, and what's his story? I mean, you should come up here.
He kept on antagonizing COs. And look, if you know anything about doing time, which Jake doesn't seem to know a lot about, if you can't get along, if you become a security threat, if you become an obstacle, those correction officers are going to go to the administration and they're going to voice their opinion. And they're going to
You guys are going to kick your ass if you screw around. I think the CO's already whooped his ass once.
say, this guy is too hot to handle, too cold to hold. There's too much going on with this guy. This guy doesn't seem to want to program here with this safety net that we've given him. Because that's absolutely what the fuck it was. For those that have never done time, CMC is a programming yard. That prison has been known to program people, right? That
Program people.
means you go there, you're just doing easy, breezy time. Now it's still prison. You still could have a fist fight here and a fist fight there. Someone could get, a little sliced up. That's every prison you go to from level 1 to level 4. That's a fact, right? But at the same time, they made it as easy as possible. He was, in fact, on the same yard in the same prison as Danny Masturbatorson from That 70s Show. So he was on a kind of a comfortable yard. You haven't heard nothing going on with Danny Masterson lately because he's just doing his time, right? After the little scuffle getting his hair pulled up in Corcoran, it was kind of the same pattern. He got transferred to CMC and his eye.
And Masterson was at Redhead, right? He was a movie star, right? Danny Masterson? Is that? I'm trying to remember. I see his face in my head. He was a child molester, if I'm not mistaken, but he was probably abused too as a child, given that he was in Hollywood. I don't know the whole story, but I'll find out.
Everything was going to see all right, cuz, right? But not for Jake the Snake. See, Jake kept antagonizing CEOs to the point where they kicked the can down the road. They no longer wanted him to be there. See, every time you get involved in a situation, your points go up. Your points go up, and you have to go to administrative segregation, and from there, you go to an ICC committee meeting.
Damn, there's a lot of politics and shit going on in there. Points.
What is that ICC meeting? That's where the bigwigs, the administration, the gang counselors, all these people who basically run this prison come together like butt cheeks, and they sit down in a circle, and they do a kumbaya, right? They discuss you.
This guy is funny, isn't he?
They look at your file and they figure out what's best, first and foremost, for the institution, the integrity of the institution, the safety and security of that prison and that yard, and then what they're going to do with you. And in this case, they decided that Jake Harrell was no longer a good fit for CMC. He didn't want that safety net. He didn't want to be comfortable in that prison.
He just got himself screwed because Salinas is gangland central, right? So there's a shit ton of gang members down in Salinas.
So what they do, they decided to do something unprecedented.
I remember driving down that. We went to pick up my kitty, and we drove down past that prison. It's right by Highway 101. Right on 101, this big ass fence. You can see the whole place. It's like a fortress.
Something crazy. They shipped this punk ass to Salinas Valley State Prison, the most rocking and rolling prison right now in CDCR. What does that mean for Jakey? That's not good. Oh, that's a whole lot of not good for him.
Mm-hmm.
For us, that means justice. Supposedly. Probably. Hopefully. Right? The last one, 100. You know what I mean? That right there. Salinas Valley State Prison does house notorious inmates. It does house a mindset that, you know, if you're put and placed on certain yards there, man, you're going to get your head cut off. That's just how that is. Now, of course, he's going to go to what they consider an integrated yard.
Thank you, little dove. Pain is not cool or no joke. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I hope he does, Donna. He really needs to. That son of a bitch. What he did to that first child, beating that little baby with an inch of her life. You know, 3% brain function, broken bones. I mean, this kid was like a baby. Couldn't even talk. Who does that? I mean, little Manuel. You can tell he had the shaken baby syndrome already. Fucking eyes are looking all different directions and shit. And he probably had fetal alcohol syndrome too. In the bottom of my heart, I think he's better off with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Than with this guy and Rebecca. You know, he would have never been born if the judge did the right damn thing on the first case. He would have never been born, and we wouldn't be here right now.
Yard or SNY yard. I didn't know. I wasn't aware that they had SNY yards at Salinas Valley State Prison, but they must. They have to have it to have Jake Harrell be transferred there. So that doesn't mean he's safe. That doesn't mean just because he's on an SNY yard, everything's going to be cool. Because that mentality of Salinas Valley State Prison is on every yard, whether it's GP, SNY, it doesn't fucking matter. It's that mentality of that prison. That prison rocks and rolls on every side, right? So now, because he wanted to run his dick suckers and bump baking soda breath on the doors and get off where he wasn't mad at, right? And argue with correction officers, well, they gave him a little present. A little late in the year for Christmas, but a little early for next one, right? Because he's going to be there for 31 more if he makes it.
He ain't going to make it. He ain't going to make it. Somebody's going to shiv his ass before, within 5 years, he's going to be dead. That's my prediction. And the Mabster's pretty prophetic.
He transpacked him to Salinas Valley State Prison, and that's where he's at this morning. So now what has he got going on? Well, I believe Salinas Valley State Prison is going to be prepared for him. I believe those correction officers are already aware in his C file that he was giving the CEOs at CMC a hard time, a rough time. And so that means that he's not going to get anything any more different than anyone else. See, you know,
it means that they're ready for his ass. That means they're going to put him. That means they're going to put him with the sharks. He's going to be in the ocean. All right. He's not going to be in a freaking aquarium anymore, protected. He's going to be in an ocean where the sharks and the barracudas are. And they're called Sereños and Norteños. And they will fuck you up.
You know, I had one guy get at me and he was like, oh, bro, are they going to take care of him because of this or that? No one gets taken care of. Look, that old myth about chomos and weirdos getting taken care of, The administration and CDCR is going to do whatever they have to do for the integrity of that place, right? Of that prison.
Yeah, their priority is the prison, not the inmate. In these pictures, that's why I never believed them. I don't know what you mean, Al, but tell me more.
To minimize drama in some cases. Now, we know CDCR is also notoriously known for creating drama, like putting active gang members and non-active gang members on the same yard, calling it integration and programming yards, and knowing exactly what's going to happen. But that's a long game that they're playing. That's that model that they're playing, right? With Jake Harrell, this is an anomaly. This is something different. For him to be transferred to Salinas Valley State Prison, it is exactly the way it sounds and looks. A hardship. Not a hardship for him, but a hardship for the people at CMC that are finally tired of dealing with the shenanigans and his bullshit and said, you know what, fucker, you want to act stupid? You're going to get stupid results. Stupid.
You don't want to be in Salinas, especially from what he's done. Salinas, this guy's, they'll take care of you in there. I mean, not in a good way.
Stupid. And this is exactly where they sent him. Now, he still has Willie Lump Butt, Rebecca in his corner. Stay in my corner, of course, but there's nothing she could do to help him. She can't.
She putting money on his books and shit. Is she taking care of him in prison after what he's done to her and Manuel and the first baby? Who would help this guy? What is wrong with Rebecca? Is she freaking brainwashed or something?
Cover no stories. She can't do nothing for this.
Yeah, I heard he was arguing with the COs, screaming and acting a fool, trying to be crazy so that he could be in a protected area. And I think what they did was they got sick of his shit and they're going to send him down into Salinas where they don't play. All right? I think that's what they did.
Dude, he's going to go to Salinas Valley State Prison and he's going to reap exactly what he sows. That's the bed that he made. That's where he's going to lay. Now, one could only wonder what he's thinking on that bus as he's transferred from CMC to Salinas Valley State Prison. It's not a long drive. It's only, I think, a 2 or 3 hour drive.
Yeah, it's about 4 hours.
But I could only wonder what's going through his mind as he's shackled up on that bus, on that green goose, going where he's going. Now, it's a different animal. And this is what people don't understand that have never done time, especially in the California system. What's happening at one prison is not necessarily what's happening at another. There's similarities in the fact that you're going to go through R&R, reception. You know, when you first get there, you're going to be given your clothing, your bedding, things of that nature. But let me explain to you exactly how it goes.
I got to stop it and start it so he don't strike me. Gunners Collective TV. How many has he got? He's got 166,000 subscribers. That's big, bruh. Mab's only got, I don't know, I haven't checked. 1,500, maybe 1,400.
Everybody.
We need to get to 5,000, you guys. Sub up.
Buddy, that works.
First time I've ever said that, all right? I'm taking my channel serious from this day forward. So be ready at 1 o'clock every day.
In R&R, and yes, there are inmates, convicts that actually work in R&R that have been there for years, right? They know exactly who's pulling up on that bus. They know exactly what time it is. Now, what they try to do in R&R for the most part, most prisons, is they try to keep neutral inmates there. What does that mean? That means guys that are not really gang related, guys that are not really super duper active, guys that just want to program and do their time, or are basically, they're set in the fact that this is their life. And
it only takes one guy who hates child predators to do it.
A lot of them don't want to lose that cush job because, man, you can get the plug in. Usually when people are coming in from different facilities, different prisons, they might have a little clavo with them. They might have something that they could slide your way that you could tuck and you get a little portion of everything, right? So the R&R hookup is actually a good job. You get to see everything. You know what's up. You work with these certain COs every day, man. You might get a little free hamburger here, a little hamburger there, a little hamburger everywhere, right? There's a lot of people and a lot of jobs.
I need a hamburger. Now I'm hungry. Gunner's a single dad, just like Mab was. Mab raised baby Mab all by himself. Okay? Man, I gotta tell you, I got stories of the ex-wife, boy. Make your damn hair fall out.
Jobs in prison that
The shit I went through to keep that girl safe, unimaginable. Nobody wants to go through that shit.
people don't want to give up. So they're not necessarily going to make a move. But in a place like Salinas Valley State Prison, they run it a little bit different. Okay? They basically let the inmates run the asylum, the convicts do their program, because they understand that in a place like that where it's rocking and rolling, even cops getting whacked over there.
Yeah, in Salinas, man, they gotta let the prison take care of itself. There's too many inmates for the COs to like control everything. It's like a hornet's nest. You just gotta put the hornet's nest in a box and let the hornets do their thing.
So don't get it misconstrued or think that Jake's going to be over there placed in the cage and everything's going to be perfect. Now, him being as notorious as he is as far as his crime, because he's not a notorious fella, right? He's a big stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, thank God for Mrs. Matt. I love her so much. She's my baby. She's my girl. I take care of her. I treat her like a damn princess. Yeah. When I met Mrs. Mam, I met her in a church. And when I saw her, I said, that's going to be my wife. And I was married to somebody else at the time. But I knew in my heart that was going to be my wife someday. When I just first saw her in a room with a bunch of little kids, we were taking care of little kids while half the church went to the service and half the church took care of the other kid that took care of the kids. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Half the people go to church to the sermon, and the other half take care of the kids, and then they switch. But I met her in there. I'll tell you the story. But we did it right, okay? We did it right. We had a beautiful wedding.
But as far as his crime and people knowing exactly who he is, yes, he will probably be placed in the cage, segregated, and ostracized from everyone else. But eventually he's going to have to go to that yard. He's not going to get special treatment. He's going to be placed on that yard in Salinas Valley State Prison. And once that door cracks, there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers there to welcome him.
That's going to be good that day. When they turn him loose in that ocean with all them sharks, it ain't going to take long, I don't think. Yep.
There's going to be a lot of individuals there that haven't got a taste of what it is to have Jake Harrell on their yard. I'm not saying he's going to get taxed or going to get ran up in, allegedly. And I'm not going to say all these things are going to happen to him, but I'll tell you, he has a more opportunity and there's more airspace and there's more chance and there's more data ROM, a whole lot of data ROM, right, to download, that he's going to go over there and have way more issues and way more problems than he did at CMC. He was good at CMC.
Yeah, at CMC, it must have been great. He was protected, but he couldn't keep his damn mouth shut. He's a punk. Your late husband was married when he met me, and he told me he looked for me for all of his life. Yes. Same with Mrs. Mab. I've been looking for her forever, and we finally, 2009, we finally got married. I think that's 16 or 17 years.
He just didn't see it because he doesn't understand how to do time. There is no way that they're going to keep him in administrative segregation because he wants to. There's no way he's going to PC up and just stay solo and bolo the whole time he's there. No, eventually you're going to have to conform to the realities that you're in prison doing life because you killed a child. You got to do what you have to do, Jake. And that's exactly what happened today. Administration got tired of his bullshit over there at CMC, and they said, take your punk ass to Salinas Valley.
You were spoiled. I'm sorry you lost him, Joanne. When I met Mrs. Mab, she was in a trailer. She lived in a trailer, and she was studying to be, she was trying to pass the boards to be a dental hygienist. She had gone to school. She was living at her mom's place in this trailer that I had to demolish by myself and haul out of there because a tree fell on it like last summer before last, I think it was. But I videoed the whole thing, doing it. And yeah, she lived in tornado bait when I met her. And now she lives with me. Oh, okay, let's finish this.
Now, for those who do not believe me, I want to send a big shout out to Pink Diva, who actually made me aware of this information, man. So shout out to her. She gets her flowers because they're deserved, right? That's the homegirl right there. If you guys are not following her, go follow her on TikTok. She runs a true crime channel where she's heavily invested in being an Amanwad warrior, man, and fighting for justice for children as well as everyone else who's been done wrong. Shout out Pink Diva. She brought this to my attention. I vetted it, of course, and bam, voila, here I am. And I can't say that I'm mad. I'm pretty happy, right? Because now Jake Harrow's going to get a taste of some real medicine. Like I said, it doesn't matter what prison you go to. There's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble. But this prison right here, there's going to be a whole lot more trouble. This is Salinas Valley State Prison. And I know people are like, he's going to be in the SAY yard. He'll be okay. Are you serious? Do you understand that they're hitting more motherfuckers on that yard than any other yard?
They don't play.
Where he is going is going to be an
They don't play in Salinas. They don't play.
Issue. But that's all because he's a stupid ass that doesn't know how to do time. You know, when you keep giving the officers a hard time and not letting them do their job, they are going to kick the can down the road. Now he is Salinas Valley's problem. And for those of you that don't believe he did, look it up. Look it up on your prison website shit, and you'll see exactly what I say is truth, right? So now we're kind of like on a watch. Before it was kind of like, I was conformed to the reasoning that he was just going to be doing his time there. A few little isolated incidences here and there, because there's a lot of people that wish bad upon this guy. I don't wish bad upon no one, but I don't wish no good at all when it comes to Jake, right? But I was one of those guys that was like, because I've done prison time, it's kind of like, okay, eventually, he's going to become yesterday's news and people are going to understand. He might get socked up here and there, but no one's going to really trip. They're going to just let him do his time. He's on a fucking a bad yard anyways. It's not like he's around some active killers that are actively killing, right? Nah, he's going to go over there with some dudes that will take your shit off, but they're not tripping. They're not going to waste their time on this guy after a little while, right? But now that he's going to Salinas Valley, it starts all over. And now you're at a place of hopelessness, desolation, and a place where stabbing someone is like breathing. Okay, so it's going to be bad for him. So
a lot of shit goes down at Salinas. Oh, I'm so sorry. 27 years. How did he go? Was it an accident or something? That's a long time. You never remarried because you were so in love with him. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I'm on a watch, and I'll be bringing you guys all the updates. I lost my inside source over there at fucking CMC, but I am going to definitely tap in with someone out there in Salinas Valley and find out exactly what's going on with this guy to the best of my capabilities is what I do, right? I will tell you guys this, though. It's all bad for Jake. It's all bad. I don't see him lasting 5 years on that prison yard.
See? Madster said 5 years. This guy says 5 years, and he's been there. He knows what's up, okay? Told you 5 years.
I see an incident happening pretty damn soon, right? I guess we're just going to have to keep up to date. And for those of you that are like, feeling like some type of emotion in your heart for this dude, fuck this dude. He didn't feel that way for Emmanuel or Promise. Not at all. He doesn't know how to do time, and now he's going to reap and sow the rewards of not knowing how to do time. And now he's going to go not know how to do time in a place where time will do you bad. That's just the truth of it, right? When I was brought this information, I was like, wow, can't be true. There ain't no way. Salinas Valley, out of all places. And that goes to show you how CDCR don't play no games. You want to play games with them, they'll play back, but they're not playing no games. There are places that they can send you if you act the fool. And that's precisely what this is. This is not like there's a special program over there that just fits him perfectly. No, this is a fact that he just didn't know how to do his time there and kept fucking with the COs. So they eventually said, you know what? Let's send him to where he wants to play Billy Badass. He wants to play that tough role. Let's get his punk ass, child killing ass down the road to Salinas Valley. Let's see how he plays over there because they don't play. Anyways, with that being said, Jake Harrell is in a world of trouble. I will be monitoring the situation and keeping you guys up to date as best as possible. Again, shout out Pink Diva, Pink Diva's World, man. You know what I'm saying?
Pink Diva. I hope Rebecca goes down too. Sorry, Joanne, about that stroke. My best friend had a stroke. He lives right up the street. And I had a feeling, a bad feeling that he was in trouble on a Friday night. I told Mrs. Mab, I'm like, I don't know what it is. Something bad's going to happen to Russell. He's working too hard. He's pushing it. And there's something bad's going to happen. I need to go tell him. So, but Mrs. Mab and I talked about it. And we said, well, it was on a Saturday night. That's right. No, it was Friday night. And I said, let's go tell him. And she said, wait, we're going to church on, he's a pastor. He's my pastor, in fact. And we were going to go to his home church on Sunday. I said, we'll just tell him then. But Saturday morning, he had a stroke. And I never told him. So if you guys ever have a feeling like that, tell him quickly, immediately. I should have, but I didn't. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Joanne. That sucks.
Saying for looking out for your boy with the information and shedding light. Also, I want to say, man, for those of you that have been watching my channel tremendously for long, we got big things coming up. We're going to keep this ball rolling. We're not going to stop. The shit it can't stop because it won't stop. Shout out Gunners Collective, all the people that have been rocking with me for 5.5 years. I know lately it seems like, man, I haven't been doing as much content as people would hope, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got. You know, I got family things going on. I got friend things going on. I just got a lot going on in my life right now. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that the motherfucking ship don't rock and stops, right?
That's right. We all have lives, right? We all have lives. Yeah, I'll let you know next time. All right, little dove. Love you.
I'm still sailing. So with that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Now, Soledad, the same damn prison or what?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Because this is Soledad, which I think is Salinas, because they're right next to each other, or they're at the same prison.
Sort of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today we're gonna
Candid camera.
smile. You're on candy. Out, won't we?
Smile, you're in candid camera.
There's a prison right there.
Smile, you're in candid camera.
Smile. You're on candy camera. Already starting off wild. Bandana game strong, as always, back in the 80s. Old timer, you need to take off them boots. Get on that rack. That's what we call
You might want to hang around here tonight.
that's what we call fire marshal Bill status. Guys that sleep fully geared up, boots and everything, ready for the fire to jump off.
Yeah, look.
Look at that 80s walk with the bandana.
You ain't got no
Crispy.
No, I can't do it. No, I never help.
Yeah, same one. Salinas
Hey,
Valley
some
State
people, that's the
Prison
best rack
is
they have right there.
Salinas Valley
Fly
State
pigeons
Prison
and all
is
kinds of stuff. But that,
in Soledad, which is south of Salinas. Never go to bed angry and always show your love. I agree, 100%. 100%, I agree. I'm back. The Mabster's back. How long have we been going? An hour and 44 minutes. I got to think of what case I'm going to cover tomorrow. Yeah, it's the same prison, Donna. Soledad. All right, Alba. Take care, hon. It's good to see you. Glad you stopped by. Leave a comment. If you want to email me, my email is mabinvestigates@gmail.com. Right there. That is it. I'm also on X. Mab Investigates on X. I might start doing shit there. I don't know. But I don't know. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, I have a Facebook group called Mab Investigates, but I got to figure out how to work it. We all need to share this out for Mab to get more subs. That's right. Sadie's mama. How you doing, sweetheart? I bet you I'll see you again in about an hour and 15 minutes, huh? Yeah, I'm going to plan my lives at 1 o'clock. And then when I'm done, we go over to Guilty of Crimes. Go over to Jay's. She said she wanted to do a collab. I'm going to take her up on that. We're going to kick this channel off. I'm going to start figuring out how to edit videos and all that shit. The kitty's doing good. It's kitty. The kitty had scabs all over it. And we were so worried. And the kitty would cuddle with me every night, right? When he had the scabs. Because he was miserable and he needed me to take care of him, right? So the kitty went from Mrs. Mab to Mr. Mab. And I loved it because he would cuddle with me and sleep with me all night when he had those scabs because he was miserable. But we took him to the vet finally, and he had fleas. And we're like, I've never seen a flea. I've searched, we have never seen one flea on him or the dog. So, and we treat the dog with flea medication. So we had no idea it was fleas. And we finally, it was so stupid. We paid like $1,500 to find out he had fleas. So now we give him flea medicine, and all the scabs went away, and he's fine now. Now he still comes and cuddles with me for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and then he goes and sleeps with Mrs. Mab. But he'll fight me in the middle of the night. He'll come and lay on me, right? And he'll be purring like crazy. I'll be petting him, and then he gets overstimulated. Next thing you know, it's full on battle, and it's the middle of the night. There's no light, and this cat can see everything because I'm like fighting with the kitty, and the kitty's flying around, grabbing on me. He never puts his claws out, but he's there, man. He loves to fight with me and loves to play. He's like a maniac. It's crazy. You like the Shades 3 Dot? What's up, brother? You want to come up and shoot the shit? Tell me what you've been doing. Where you been, 3 Dot? Come over here and tell me what you've been up to, brother. Got a link right there. Still up there in the Delta area? On the water, maybe? Fishing for sturgeon and striped bass? That's what I'd be doing if I was up there. Phone's on the glitch, you can't come up? That's cool. No big deal. We'll catch you another time. I'm going to be going live every day at 1 o'clock. You can't do lives anymore? Why not? Is your phone? You ain't got an iPad or a computer? I finally won Turtle Island. King Mabster, Turtle Island. I still don't have my belt. So he can't start Turtle Island Season 7 until I get my belt for Season 6. And then I'm going to win Season 7 too. I'm going to have 2 belts. That would be perfect, huh? No one can hear you when you're doing lives. You can come up on my live, can't you? All right, you guys. 3 dot. Crash the party. Yeah. What else is going on? Iran will be bombed within a week. That's my prediction. 1 week. Might be 2 days, but 1 week there will be bombs falling. Okay, there's two possibilities. Either Khomeini leaves, steps down peacefully, and leaves with his whole guard people, or what time is it here? It's 2:51. Took you long enough to look good in blue. This is actually teal, isn't it? This is blue right here. This is blue. My t-shirt is blue. But I used to be a corporate, like, bigwig, right? Intellectual property. Vice president, Central Coast Patent Agency. I was also the vice president of Edge Mobile Payments, in charge of intellectual property. And I was also the CEO of SoundStart's intellectual property holding company. And I sold patents. I was a patent broker. So I brokered inventions from individuals and corporations to other individuals and corporations. And so I would take 5% from each side. So I got 10% of all the sales. So if I sold something for $300,000, I would make $30,000. One time I sold a $4 million deal, and I already owned 12% of that patent portfolio. Plus, I made an extra 5% on the selling side. So that day I made $680,000. That was my biggest day ever. But I'm kind of humble, so I don't like to talk about how bitching I am and all that. But I invented some of the stuff you guys all use every day. I'll let you guys. We'll do some lives on that one day. Nostradamus, Mab is right. Iran will be bombed. Minnesota State Police and Minnesota City Police will start arresting the organized protesters. They're going to they're going to dismantle the whole NGO orchestrated situation in Minnesota. Because in Minnesota, they have the police are involved by tracking the license plates of ICE. The organizers, the NGOs are involved to pay the protesters. And they have like 4 or 5 different signal groups where they all have a group chat. So once they see an ICE vehicle, they'll have one guy at the ICE facility, right, the headquarters, and then every vehicle that leaves, he captures their license plates, or they use license plate readers, and then everywhere that vehicle goes, they know. So as soon as they show up to do an operation, they're covered with like 25 or 30 protesters, like trying to box them in with cars and doing all that shit. So, I'm pretty healthy. I'm out of the woods. Yeah, I'm just got my face cut off and plated back in, but this is all numb and it hurts all the time, but I still have to deal with it. I mean, what are you going to do? I still I was supposed to be splitting wood today. I got a big giant pile of rounds from 300 to 700 pounds outside that nobody can handle. But I have a special splitter, a 60-ton splitter that'll split fucking anything. And so I split these giant rounds into little pieces and then make a pile of them with my tractor. Then I take the little pieces and split them down into regular pieces of firewood, right? Sitting in a chair and I got a special handle that I made to use for the tractor for the splitter so I can just sit there in the chair and split wood. So I do all the wood splitting from a chair. And it looks like I'm doing a lot of work, but it's not that hard. All right, you guys. I may go try to split some wood for another hour maybe, or I might not. Maybe do it tomorrow. Hit that like, motherfucker. 3 dot. We're going to be going live every day, man. Show up. Let's do some collabs. What are you doing? What are you up to? All right. You should video it and post it. All right. I'll do it. Oh, I almost got killed. Like a week ago, I was my tractor skid steer, it stopped working. You know what I'm saying? The pedals lock. If you're not sitting in the seat, and if you don't have the seatbelt on, these little solenoids pop up and they lock the pedal so you can't operate the hydraulics. So it was pissing me off, right? So I bypassed the seatbelt and I bypassed the seat pressure on the seat switch and put 2 switches on the side of my tractor. So every time I would start up, I'd turn both those switches and then I'd be able to work the tractor. But some other safety thing happened and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So I took the solenoids out. I took the tractor apart. I took the safety solenoids out and I just ground off the nub that goes up and locks. So it can't lock anymore. I hacked the whole system. So now my tractor works no matter what. So I have it in service mode, so it bypasses all safety. I can just use it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a lot of work videos coming up. I'll video it or I'll go live. I need the time, right? I need some hours. Watch hours is what I need, right? How many hours? You got 1,500 hours or something? You need like 1,500 hours to get monetized. I'm definitely not monetized. So tell your friends, tell your granny, tell the grandkids, tell the nieces, aunts, uncles, church people. It's like a prayer group. Get everybody together. Shanny B, what's up? How you doing? I'm about to get the hell out of here. Now I got more watchers than I had during the whole damn live. You got some scary workplace incidents? I had my whole tractor lifted up. I was trying to get the whole bucket, you know what a skid steer is. So I had the chain and then I had my crane that I made and I had the whole thing picked up and I was trying to pick it up so I could take the side panels off so I could investigate why the hell it wasn't starting. So I had it up on my crane and it's probably only 2,000 or 3,000 pounds that I'm picking up with the crane and it's rated for 5,000 pounds. Well, I was looking inside the engine, and I got a feeling that I was in danger. So I went like this, and the cable snapped, and the whole fucking thing came crashing down. And I don't know, 10 seconds earlier, I would have been dead. I mean, it was that close. I actually was shaking a little bit after that. So I went and bought a 12,000 pound winch, and I installed that, and then I welded half-inch plate all around it, and I remounted it. Yeah, I remember saying that in Jay's live over at Guilty of Crime. Oh my God. That scared the shit out of me. Whew, that was close. All right, you guys. Maybe I'll see you guys over at Guilty's live. So I got to get out of here to investigate some more stuff for tomorrow. So peace out. Iran bombed within the week. Minnesota covered and contained within the week. That's my prediction. I'm doing all right. All right, brother. Thanks for being here, 3 Dot. See you then, Sadie. Peace out. Mapster is out. Love you guys.